Danganronpa. Danganronpa.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and those otherwise inclined. My name is Younger Lady 2, and welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Last time, a body has been discovered. Discovered in the garden. A masked figure. One that seemingly attacked Makoto in the night. The body then blew up, leaving no immediate indication as to who they were. Along with some shenanigans from Monokuma, who had initially seemed inactive and had been dismantled over the night. Well, a Monokuma, anyway. We went through the investigation to find that things were very, very odd. Not just with the apparent victim, but with Kyoko still not being around until the very beginning of the trial. Well, not so much the very beginning, but when the trial was supposed to start. So, let us see where we are. Skills. We have a couple more points to play. We can grab Cool and Composed. Liberation. I mean, that would be nice. But if we were going to go that, then we need to drop something. And I don't know what I would drop. So let's just take Cool and Composed. Obviously we have our truth bullets. Let us begin. This most unusual trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
The one time that Monokuma doesn't particularly try and direct where things are going up to this point. At least where to start off.
Well then,
let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No! That's a ghost!
How would you like to sort this, Kyoko? Would you like to slap him?
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because... she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
I thought you didn't believe in the occult. You certainly don't think that your fortune-telling is a cult. Would just ghosts be a cult? Necrology?
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Kyoko's gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
It's not an awful hypothesis, but considering a decent amount of what else we saw, probably not.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. Because we need to convince this one person. So I don't have any choice but to... fake nails.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I know that body isn't Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove
The
it.
dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before.
Well, yeah, she must have been because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I spent too much into it.
That
Kyoko there.
Impossible.
Okay, then
prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the
Then she was wearing gloves before.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing...
No,
And you
that's wrong.
did it again.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Once again, off the other side. But yeah, if you're new here, I have played this game before. I have not played the rest of the series, so I figured this is more so just a warm-up for me. Or a warm-up, a refresher for me before I jump into the rest of the franchise. Yeah.
I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Maybe the tattoo? Right hand's probably what we're going for here.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
We need to find out who the victim was before we can do anything.
If Kyoko really is,
Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
I'm no for you.
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
Are you saying I'll be executed?
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's just one of her fantasies again.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to the other information there, the victim's identity should become clear. What's up?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that Fenrir that represents Fenrir is Bulk.
Now I
I
understand.
haven't had that one moving
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
around. Bulk.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
A soldier with that capacity within a mercenary corps with that reputation? Possibly? Obviously knowing what I know. There's more to it.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba?
She was a 16th student hiding somewhere in the school. Watch out for her.
She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Well, take that up with her sister.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us, just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
Nope.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
Byakuya, you remember what we were both told, right?
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
And again, Monokuma steps in a way that Monokuma acts in the trial in a way that Monokuma normally wouldn't.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
And occasionally Monokuma might step in that sort of injunction. But usually it's either clarify or make sure you know you're supposed to be voting. This is a bit more... Nope. Focus on this. Come on.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
For the most part.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be 2 suspects.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
No, it's Mukuro and the headmaster. Who the hell else do you think I'm talking about?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Unless, of course, it's a situation like Celeste's where there can be some maneuvering. Oh, damn it! I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
This will probably be to do with something.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place.
Raising objections is for a certain attorney.
Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock.
Is usually when the nighttime announcement goes off.
So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered?
I got it!
Around 9 o'clock.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it? Oh, well, when we left the gym it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay. Go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30. Okay then. Looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. Sprinklers will explain what happens.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Sprinkles. The incident took place in the garden, right? If I remember, there's something that happens there every morning at a certain time.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
It's 7:30, I think we shoot, because that's implying we don't have an alibi for 7:30. Yes, because the sprinklers go on at 7:30, that gives us an alibi.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for...
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Oh, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Do you think something weird is going on?
Shoot!
Just think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between...
No, that's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
They're technically both contradictions by the same thing. It's just, yeah.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30...
Technically speaking, them saying it takes place between 10 at night and 9 in the morning is fine. Because for the framework that we're working with, yeah, that does work. Bit more pedantic. Sure.
Then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
I believe you're the one who said that, Toko.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Zoe, who are you?
Man, you're totally wacko.
You really think it wasn't the sprinkler? You'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it.
I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No! How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
Yeah, it was the one that was in the gym. Shit.
Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Hold it.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
Not quite the event you think it is.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
What?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
Never said that. She did say she thought she was the ultimate despair. She did not say she thought she was the mastermind.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body? Would have been...
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? And why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. The tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? This will be the body analysis though. But the body... Oh, sorry, the body before the explosion.
Something's not right.
Yeah, that still works.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's going to think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Now Kyoko joins.
Since it was
Sorry,
facing
Kyoko.
down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
It's one of these two. So it didn't get dirty would be... should be dirty. outside was protected from the water's front. Didn't get dirty, I think, is the one I need to fire up. There has to be a clue hidden in the tarp somewhere.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty!
No, that's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it.
Listen, actually, don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Then why not wash both sides?
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
Bucket.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office!
It's not a bad thought.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got the blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... Bucket.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around.
Because with the nurse's office, it's pretty damn close to the gym.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
And it may or may not have been on back to front.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
The only thing being we don't have a time frame between like how long it took for Hina to leave and us to, well, Makoto to get there. Because that is still 5 floors. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body has been added to the triplet section of your handbook.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
With your odds, less likely.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
It's one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Hopefully the disguised dead body. Wait up.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
That's
You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
So they're getting stabbed. You used that knife to kill Mukuro? No, there's no way. The murder took place before the smokers turned on. Suspect covered the body with the top from getting wet. Later, when they removed the top, the suspect placed the white jacket on the body. This jacket had been finished retrieved with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing. Or, as the Monokuma file says, it's only been stabbed once. But I don't think the Monokuma file is part of it. Fragments.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it?
Dead body.
I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it.
Makoto, just because I had the knife, that automatic?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
And now, I might do my thing because I'll go grab myself a drink as well. So, by all means, if you need to grab a drink or have a snack or a stretch or something like that, feel free to do so. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Roughly. Until then, guys. And we're back. Very short one that time.
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
We must attack twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible because...
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
Spontaneous combustion.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Me? Again? There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute.
So. How'd they get him on a Monokuma bomb? That should be the question. Because by their notes, it can't be me. If they think I grabbed that, specifically that bomb. And specifically that bomb that was used, can't be Makoto. Because from the moment the bomb was pulled out of Monokuma to the point that the body was discovered and exploded, Makoto was with everyone. if it wasn't that bomb that was used and that bomb was just taken to hide evidence. Out of the person who used to get another Monokuma.
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect, you, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Maybe it's the Monokuma problem, because it talks about the other hit.
Then, shall we continue the debate?
Struck in the head with the object about as thick as a metal pipe. Body analysis doesn't talk about anything else. And the other was... when? Or it was the body before the explosion. Was it on top? So it should be the file.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure,
That's fine.
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I can only think of one thing that would have killed her. So I think we actually have to take that pipe and shoot it.
Then,
Both
shall
in the
we
back of the
continue
head.
the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Unless... we're supposed to shoot the countless wounds with the Monokuma file. It says these are at least several days old, so they've got nothing to do with it. Okay.
Well, yeah. She was already
Nothing to do with
totally
what they're
dead when that
thinking.
happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife. And then there's only...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
What? Do you think there was some mistake lurking in what I said?
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Is that
The
blocked by
explosion
fucking
didn't
white
kill her
lines?
for sure.
Right.
I
Hate
guess.
losing
Well,
time.
yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only...
Oh yeah. According... That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be...
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Should have been handled a lot better.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
It's rather interestingly phrased.
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
Technically you can. If you're gripping it right at the peak, so to speak.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Wait, about her scooping up her brain, tossing it on the ground and spitting on it?
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Real murder weapon.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. That'll be the tape.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to Master! You have no right!
Too thin. There's no doubt that the arrow is the murder weapon, but there's more to it than that.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt that was the murder
Are
weapon.
you sure?
You don't sound
Well, because in the Monokuma, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin. Talking back to Master! You have no right!
The titanium, it was in the dojo.
I have no doubt that was the murder.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as it seems like an arrow would just be too thick.
No, that's wrong.
Why am I shooting worse with a steady aim?
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
That's a lie.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
We do, yes. But Makoto knows full well that's a lie. Because that's the place that Kyoko explored.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo?
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? And does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... which would mean that Kyoko... she killed someone? For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
I did actually forget how short this trial is.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? And what does that mean?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
I think Byakuya's account is to do with the crime, So I think you're taking something. It'll be to do with the key.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
We absolutely will.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
I think it's that last one. I think it's locker room key in my room until there's proof. Because, with the exception of what Makoto knows, which we were just told, well, relatively in terms of just, no one else would think that Kyoko can actually get into a room. Byakuya should know that Kyoko didn't do it? Do it? But why him?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya!
Master would never hide.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Unless it's there's proof into the one we just picked up.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Byakuya!
What a master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the...
No, that's wrong! If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No. That's actually not... That's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. Try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me here, if you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... Mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro? And Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. The 30% of... the 30 to 40% of Yasuhiro Hagakure. Run away. No, running away isn't going to solve anything. I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Bad ending time.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko is definitely lying. And it must be because there's some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Kyoko recount.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya.
That's fine.
There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
But
Then, when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation.
Kyoko says it wasn't her who left the key to the dojo locker in her room. Is that really true?
I didn't have the key to my because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
No, that's wrong. No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
It does beg the question how the mastermind did get it in there, probably through one of the Monokumas. But then the question would be, how did they get it to the Monokuma? So in terms of, a Monokuma is given the key, spawns in Kyoko's room, lays it there, leaves. Unless they've got another master key. But even then, if they had another master key, would they have been that pissed off with Kyoko having one? I mean, probably. If it did also allow them to get into the data center and into that Monokuma room beyond. Otherwise, I don't think they'd be that annoyed. Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school. Which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Huh? Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out! So then, it's time for
10
voting
minutes of it.
time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you! But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
And once again, Monokuma jumps in. The intended target. Good job. You got it right. Brilliantly right. We got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? Something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
I've prepared an extra special punishment this time. Is everyone ready? Okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Game over. Kyoko's been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Obviously, it's the same execution for this chapter, and I've seen people who think this doesn't make sense for an execution for Kyoko. I would slightly disagree. In terms of one final lesson to the person who was truly trying to find out the secrets of this school. The person who ultimately has the closest ties to this school. To a further extent, they listen to everyone else. This is what happens. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. We still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent, or... regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. And in the end, it proved to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. And so, Hero's prediction. That the mother of Hero's child will be the same as the mother of Makoto's child. Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope. Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
Huh? I argue it's a good deviation because the entire game is meant to be about finding out the truth. So, but the way Makoto always operates is about trust, generally speaking. So what do? Show the truth, expose the lie, or trust. Trust in your friends.
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
The claim? Oh, that's right. I have to... Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Let it go. Can I hold us back? An overrated movie. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it.
Accept what? I'd say to a certain extent that's effectively Byakuya going, look, I don't think that Makoto did this, and he has been gunning for Kyoko as soon as he knew Kyoko was still alive. Because his belief was Kyoko's the one who died, and then as soon as he knew that Mukuro was the one who died, his belief was, it's got to be Kyoko. Because he's never trusted her. He's trusted her abilities, well, her intellect. Her? No. Whereas he actually does trust Makoto. At least more than anyone else. Apart from himself, obviously. So, yeah, I think it's more or less his word of, I don't think Makoto's done this. This has to be Kyoko. But if we've got nothing that can prove it,
I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But Who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
Makoto was the one to find it.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong.
And that's sort of the reaction from the others as well. It's just that sort of... None of them believe that Makoto could have done this, but with the evidence they've got, who else could it be? That being said, Makoto doesn't entirely believe that... Makoto's not entirely convinced that he didn't do it either. He doesn't think he's capable of it, but he does not have any recollection.
Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why, this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
And so the mastermind sees their opening. Get rid of the other annoying pawn. Get rid of somebody who is now actively trying to disrupt, I guess would be the way to put it, the case. Because if everyone else starts to question that case, things start getting mucky.
Huh? Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late! So we had to push back the start time!
Specifically speaking, have they had a time's up in the trial? No. Has Monokuma warned them that time could run out? Yes. Did in the first trial. And I think maybe in the second as well. He's definitely done it more than once. First trial for sure. And it's either the second or the third.
So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
And effectively for both endings, Monokuma carries through with their threat. I can't punish you for being late, but I'll make you regret it.
Voting time?
I was expecting to see a B on a couple of those. The non-stop debate where we buggered up, and Toko's bullet time battle. They were the two I expected to see a B on. Interesting, we still got A's across the board. What are coins?
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I would make the argument, considering our mastermind is more than happy to break the rules here. There may have been a better way to do this, which is, yeah, the votes for Makoto. Makoto didn't do this. Makoto's not blackened, so you got the vote wrong. So everyone who's not blackened gets executed. But for what the mastermind wants, they can't exactly do that. Because they still want the game to continue. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
It's all your fault. It's clearly Byakuya is not happy. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense!
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment! Wait, why do I... And Kyoko very much realizing the consequences. Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Game over. Makoto has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Whereas it's an execution that makes sense for the lucky student. Sorry, the lucky emphasis on student. And we know where the lucky comes in. After school lesson. My friend. I will protect my friends. No? Ah. Uh-oh. What his luck kicks in big time with his execution. He's being saved by alter ego, but also getting surviving that fall, because that is a big fall. And considering where the rest of the stuff lands, The implication would be he falls fucking hard.
Huh? What's this? What's going on?
Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is...
Alter ego.
Alter ego? Is this some sort of stupid virus from that stupid guy? Must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, and it... That stupid virus is gone now, got it! And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again! Waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. Still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Is he gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now, it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It's like my life is flashing before my very eyes. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. Government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. That was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of there. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. And that's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. So just somebody coming in. My dinner is ready. We shouldn't be too much longer. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Just making sure. Actually, what I might do is I might grab me dinner just so I've got it. But then we'll wrap up this chapter and I probably won't dig into it. I'll be right back. And back. The end of the chapter shouldn't be too far away.
Rattle, rattle.
It's locked.
Rattle, rattle.
No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to take a look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-round bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. And that's still not enough reason to give up. Because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly.
That crunch.
What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it, and we can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. That really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all that I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, it's not such a bad thing to be good at. But, Kyoko, Why'd you come to rescue me?
So,
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Atone?
you...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
Listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. I can't offer you any reason other than that.
I'm truly sorry.
I really am sorry.
However...
Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason.
Correct. In other...
It's tied into the... Wait, what was that? Yeah. I'm going to tell you everything. The reason I have to survive. It's tied into why I came here in the first place. The very important reason I made up my mind to ever come to Hope's Peak Academy. So we have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak Academy.
Indeed.
That's right. At least, I did once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing... You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that point, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. And that's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind. One of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into a missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before, but... why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Yeah. It's nothing. It is nothing. Right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just... I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability.
so,
You mentioned your ability.
I
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Shocker. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy. And there was someone I had to find here in the school. Whatever it took, I had to find them. You see, those who knew me best knew me by
Correct.
the title of the Ultimate Detective. That's why I came to Hope's Peak Academy. You had to find someone? Oh,
So,
Mom. He was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why do you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. No! It's not possible. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? And that explains... When Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved,
I
I'll find a way. No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster,
no matter what.
no matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko? What's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. And that makes sense.
However,
Listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. And what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. And this is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. I was so preoccupied with investigating that room, it was unforgivably careless of me.
However...
So, what was it like? So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realised. Whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means... everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole the key and disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves are somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
Oh, mate. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Huh?
Indeed.
I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... During the night?
I
can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. Which one? Izanami? Thanatos? Anubis? What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. And that ability naturally draws me into cases, just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
It wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever that Master Silent was, they ended up dead,
correct.
and their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. If all that is really true, and I was right not to expose Kyoko's lie, I'm glad I put my faith in her.
Correct.
So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro was also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, and that's what I think. Well, that's really bad if true. That means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not,
Indeed.
if you think about it. The ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. A tragedy? Whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. And
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Chapter 5, 100 Mile Dash Pain of a Junk Food Junkie. The end. Back to 6 survivors, but interestingly they don't cross off our mystery assailant. You receive the Dream Island rocket present! Because they can't have Mukuro having a sprite ever. That achievement is 5 alive. Finish chapter 5. Savvy. Go there. And that is where we're going to end things for tonight. With another save, just in case. And yeah, so 5th trial is done. The more complex trial, I would say. Well, complex. The other way I was initially going to put it was when things really shift, but it doesn't. Oh, I mean, the second trial really kicks things into gear. But yeah, I mean, it is a good trial. It has it for a reputation. Shit all goes down. So, next time we come through, sorry, next time we stream this is probably the better way to put that, which should be in a couple of days, we will at the very least start chapter 6. And depending on when we start it and what I've got to do, because I may need to leave earlier, we'll see how things go. But depending on how long depending on when I can and how long I can go for, we'll definitely get to at least the start of chapter 6's trial. Whether we actually jump into that trial will depend on how long the investigation takes and what time I've got. But yeah, so if we don't wrap up in a couple of days, then because I should be streaming on Friday, I know I keep saying that, and then things pop up, but yeah, as long as I'm streaming Friday, we'll be done with at least the story by Friday, and then it's just a case of whether that is school mode, because if it is, we'll probably jump into that. And it's just a case of, do I go for just the one run through to go through all of the report cards, or do I go through it multiple times to get everyone's ticket event? Who knows? But yeah, that'll be the end of the stream here, so thanks for tuning in live if you did, or if you're watching on playback, thanks for watching. As always, I've been Thwongle82. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe. If you want to find me elsewhere, the links are in the description below, or feel free to check out the rest of the channel. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.